That's it, no fish, I quit. I'm never doing this again. Yoink. I'm putting the parts together for the fishing net Lute Ukulele. Have this old fishing net. Gonna have to do a little bit of repair work. Got some tuners, got some wood, got some fretboard material, got a bridge. So, gonna dive into this. I took the net off. Now I'm working on parts of the frame that were cracked a little bit. I'm almost ready to bend some wood on my bender. Gonna use the inside of the frame as a guide. Just got done bending the sides. It's in the fishing net form. Now I'm gonna let it dry for a while. With the sides bent, I'm ready to glue the side piece together. I've also cut out the piece of wood for the back. I have the sides glued together. Now I'm going to glue some kerfing around the inside edges. Gonna use some glue, gonna use some clothespins. I've now glued kerfing on one side. Let this dry, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. Now it's time to glue the two-piece top together. Gonna glue it up and use my go-bar deck. I've taped the fret template to the board. Gonna put it in the smiter box. Use this fret saw. I'm gonna cut 9 slots into the fretboard. I've cut the fret slots and tapered the fretboard. Now I'm going to install the fret wire with this mallet. I'm working on the headstock. It's gonna have a very aggressive angle. I'm adding some wood to the side of the handle. That'll make it wide enough for the fretboard. The soundboard has been cut to shape. Now I'm going to add the sound hole rosette. I'm going to drill out the 4 smaller holes, and then wood burn the rest of the pattern. The sound hole rosette is done. Now I'm going to brace the top. I'm bracing the top. I glue the pieces down, then put a little tape so they don't slide around. The headstock is ready to be glued. Put some glue on it and slide it up there. I'm ready to glue on the back. I've slid the neck down to help maintain the shape. I put some blue tape in there to remind me to put in a label before I seal it up. My pile of homemade spool clamps are ready, so it's time to glue it up. The back is glued on and it's clamped nice and tight. With the back glued on, I can now glue the rim to the edge of the body. Now I'm going to glue in the sound hole label. I normally do that later in the process, but with the small sound hole, I need to do it now. It's time to put the top on and seal up the body. With the top on, it's now time to glue on the fretboard. With the fretboard on, it's now time to glue on the bridge. Gonna carefully mark it out, get it glued on. The bridge and the fretboard are glued on. Now I'm gonna mask it off, get ready to spray the back. The top and fretboard are masked off. Now it's time to do some spraying. The body and neck have been stained brown. Now it's time to put on the clear coat. I'm ready to put on some clear coat. So I've masked off the fretboard and the bridge. Gonna put a clear coat over the body and the top. The shoe now has a few coats of oil. I'm gonna condition the fretboard and install the saddle, tuners, and nut. The tuners and the nut are now installed, and I've also put on the saddle. It's time to install the strings. I just put on the strings. Now I'm gonna let them stretch out. So after all of that, here's the fishing net Lute Ukulele. The back is birch, and the sides and top are made out of basswood. Basswood. Up here we have the tuners and the angled headstock. The fretboard is made out of Paduke and it has 9 frets. Lutes often have intricate rosettes and sound holes, so I made a fancy pattern on mine. Bonus points to you if you know where the symbol's from. So that's my latest creation. Part lute, part ukulele, all built around a fishing net frame.